Afternoon, guys. How are things? Welcome to today's update. It's the 9th of July. Today, I'm going to cover an overview of the portfolio. We'll have a look at some of the Bitcoin news that's shaping the market at the moment. Overall, it's been very, very quiet. There seems to be a lot of uncertainty as to whether we are looking to go to the upside or to the downside. I'll also quickly touch on the recent drop in price in Alibaba, and particularly how the activity at Didi, the ride-sharing app, has caused some negative effects in the Chinese market. So as usual, we compare our portfolio against the two main indexes that some of our stocks live on, and also Bitcoin as our benchmark. So as you can see, it's quite flat week over week. We've had roughly it's about 2 to 3% down on the month. That's as of last night. So there's been quite a good rally today, probably just under 1% of a rally today in the portfolio overall. So that will be reflected in my numbers. That will be reflected in my numbers tomorrow. Again, what we look at is just some of what we compare our performance against. So Bitcoin's down here. Again, it's been moving sideways for 2 months at this stage. My portfolio is correlated pretty much against it, if not slightly better if you look at some of the lows. Again, that's because I try to ensure, first of all, I have a cash balance, but also I have a number of other stocks that have performed better in the last 2 months. So let's have a quick look at some of the news that's affecting the Bitcoin price at the moment. We've got the first of all, if we look at the fear and hype index, we're still very, very low. So we're at 20 at the moment, which is in extreme fear. Again, this is, people see this as a buying opportunity for the future. The overall sentiment is quite unconfident at the moment. We can see this through what the average person thinks about where the Bitcoin price is going. A lot of people see further downside. From the on-chain data, we can see there's actually been a spike in coins being moved off exchanges to wallets. This generally is a bullish sign overall, but it could take weeks or months to see this effect in the market, particularly when there's so much other fear and uncertainty and doubt going on. The SEC has been given an ultimatum of the 28th of July to confirm a decision on regulation. So that's another important piece to weigh on. Again, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what the decision is going to be? But you can be sure that in the lead up to that, the price will be volatile. So just in relation to the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, this is, I touched this already during the week in a post. But basically what's going to happen is this month, between the middle and the end of this month, the 6-month holding period of the shares that people would have bought in January when the price was escalating are going to expire. So what that means is they have the choice to sell those shares or to hold, I suppose. From a technical perspective, these should not affect the price. However, the volume of these shares is huge. In the past, there's been significant drops in price before these events. Will this happen again? Who knows? We just got to see how this plays out. The good thing is, though, that after this particular event, there's very little further events like this. So selling pressure driven by this should have subsided. So hopefully we will see the price stabilize, and be able to regain its momentum and its traction in the second half of the year. But we've got a lot of these uncertain events in the way first to get through before we can sort of really understand, are we at this bottom stage now? Is this really the accumulation stage before we take that next step? So let's see how it goes. Let's see how the next few weeks play out. From my side, I still have a cash balance to see if we go lower. I also have a pretty good allocation to crypto. In the last week, I haven't bought or sold anything. I'm simply waiting on the sidelines to see what happens. I have just opened one position in Alibaba. and that was today. We've seen a significant drop in the share price over the last few days. It's been brought about by a few pieces of news. Number one is the crackdown on Didi. So Didi is the ride-sharing app that recently IPO'd. However, regulators have removed it from the New York Stock Exchange. There was concerns over its data integrity, but also there's been some antitrust issues as well, and thus a huge negative impact on Chinese stock in particular, including Alibaba and including Baidu, which we also hold positions of. With China looking to become one of the largest economies in the world, with Alibaba at the forefront of that, and they are looking to ensure that on a global scale, Alibaba are playing ball correctly. And they've gone through an antitrust trial, just like Facebook has recently, where they've been accused of some monopolistic activity that could mean that they have to be broken up in the future. This obviously has caused a huge amount of negative sentiment towards the company itself, but it's something that has to be investigated to clean their hands of any misdoings. So again, this is something that certainly is impacting the share price. But as I touched on last week, you can go back to my video where I spoke about why I have purchased Alibaba stock. This negative short-term sentiment does not impact on the future value of the company. It is growing market share very, very quick. Revenues are very, very, very strong, and also with profits. And also when you look at the numbers, it doesn't account for its cloud revenue just yet. So that's a huge part of the business that it still has to account for. And it truly seems to me that it's an undervalued stock, a one for the future as well, if it can hit the goals that it sets to attain. So that's the update for this week, guys. Again, please like and subscribe to the video. I would really, really love your support. As I said before, I love making these videos and I love getting the content out. And I want to be able to answer the questions that are really, really important to you guys. So please do engage with the content. Let me know if it's good. Let me know if it's bad. I'd love to hear feedback. But otherwise, have a great weekend, and we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.